Handpan is one of those things that you can't really, I noticed that when I start thinking too much while I'm playing it, when I start thinking about what note I'm going to hit next, or when I start thinking about what I'm going to do with the sound, I end up not doing as good. It's always better. It kind of forces me to find this like weird kind of flow state where I'm doing it and I kind of know what I'm about to do next, but it's happening in like such an instant. It's just kind of like, okay. Just, yes, I'll do that. More like you're listening to something and following what something is telling you to do, rather than having to come up with it on your own, then decide if it's something you should do, and then go for it. Basically, processing it all before you actually act. This is more, or at least for someone that's not very musically inclined like me, playing an instrument like this handpan, that's what I've gotten out of it so far. Is it's taught me how to kind of feel that state that musicians are always talking about. You know what I think it really is? I think it's that people like always, they're so scared of failing. And that's what kind of like screws us up when we're thinking about it. When I start thinking too much about like what note I'm gonna play next, that's what I'm noticing is like what I'm really worried about, what I'm really scared of is I'm scared of it not, it not sounding good or something like that, or me screwing up. And sometimes it's for like the stupidest reasons. I start speeding up a little too much right there. Slow it back down. Anyways, there's no reason to like who cares if I hit the wrong note, right? Hopefully one day I can just like kind of sit there and like not even really look at it. I still have to look a little bit. Although now I can like look into the camera screen. It's kind of making me like more self-conscious though. One thing that I've kind of learned about the handpan here is that I've been trying to like really make it like so dominant, and I'm trying to kind of use it as more of a like a background sound kind of instrument, or something where it's not so like forced and like rhythmic, and like this is what I would do in the beginning. Everything was like really quick and like really like, to be honest, it kind of like gave me that confidence to know that I could like, I don't know, that I could do something that like sounded like something. But what I've really been working on lately is like just chilling out, like kind of like I've been doing just in everything in my life, is I've been working on, maybe not trying to play a song per se, but maybe just like having it and kind of like, just having a little bit of some background or something. But I think part of it is like getting to the point. It's such like a tricky balance, and it does kind of relate with like the whole, really any hobby, but all the contamination stuff and all of everything that we've been talking about on this, at least this segment today. It kind of relates. I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, I was talking about the balance and how you kind of need like the fear, and you need all of the like, you need all of that stuff, all of the icky feelings that you feel in the beginning. You need that stuff because it's like what motivates you to become better and just stick with it, and whatever it is. But it's when you kind of like get a little bit, just enough confidence to where you don't have to where you don't have to be like so paranoid about everything. You don't have to worry so much about stuff. That's when everything like starts to get fun, because then you can, like, at least for me anyways, you can put it a little bit, or what I'm trying to learn to do anyways, is to put things, like what I'm doing right now, for example, I'm trying to learn to put it on a separate back burner, even though my phone is beeping and bothering me about it. Everything is kind of like, everything's meaningless besides what meaning we give to it. And in a weird way, it means that we have the ultimate control over how we feel about anything, because we're ultimately the ones that give the meaning to whatever it is. You know, if we have no opinion or no thought about whatever it is, then you just won't think about it. Like, think about a rock that's out around the corner over there. You just don't think about it on a day-to-day basis. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Should I just let the handpan do the talking? You know what I think it was? I'll be honest, I started thinking there for a second. I kind of caught myself in the moment where I was playing the music, I was hearing the tune, and I was realizing that I was doing it, and I hadn't really been thinking about it. I was just kind of letting my hands move. And I started getting flippin' cocky about it. I started thinking, yeah, I'm recording right now. I'm gonna say something super insightful. And I just did it again, actually. I just caught myself. I gotta learn to maybe draw that out, though. But I caught myself wanting to try and feel special again. Did I talk about that on video yet? That's another big, hold on, I'm just kind of digging this. Doesn't it kind of sound good going up and down it? Did I forget what I was going to say? I think I did. Anyways, yeah, I caught myself there for a second thinking that, find myself in the moment and going, dang, you're doing it. You're about to think about how good this clip is going to be. And that's what I don't want to do. I'm so sick of doing that myself, and I'm so sick of just, I don't know, I'm sort of an introverted person, so I don't want to say that I'm sick of other people doing it, because I don't really give other people the opportunity to do it, and I realize that a lot of it's probably in my head, of me just creating some story, that everybody's kind of wearing all these masks and faking it and all that stuff. But I did realize that if I want to have any power at all, the one power that I do have is that I have the power to decide how I present myself. And although one of the kind of like loopy realizations that I've come to is that you can't really not, we have to be faking it. If you're a person with an identity, you have to create that identity, right? But then the balance of it is the fact that we don't, we get to realize that we're creating that identity. And you don't have to be so serious about it. I just did it again at the end there when I said, you don't have to be so serious about it. I caught myself going, yeah, the music was playing. I ended with my voice going, eh. And it's almost like I could just like see the the little clip that I feel would make me so important. I could like see it in my head. And why do I feel like I have to kind of let go of that stuff in order to be more real? I don't know. I'll probably come around some corner and realize that I don't know. Let me just play this for a while. I've been talking for too long. The other hard part is like coming to an end sometimes. That was pretty good though. I felt like I kind of, I did that.